Hi guys, this is Jimmy from Case Group, and in this short demo we are going to take a quick look at one of the new textures that we have in vray 2.0. If I open the material editor and grab a new texture, you will see that we now have a texture called vray distance text. This texture actually allows us to have different colors for points based on their distance from an object or a list of objects. In order to illustrate how it works, I'm going to create a very simple scene. So first I'm going to add a plane and assign a vray material to that plane. Then I'm going to assign the vray texture as a diffuse color for that plane. Then I'm just going to create a simple sphere. I'm going to make this sphere invisible to the camera. And in the distance texture, I'm going to specify that I want the texture to be affected by this sphere object here. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start playing with these three colors here. So as you can see, we have three different values here for color. We have far color, near color, and inside color. And I'm just going to switch the inside color to bright green. I'm going to turn the camera and render. You see that we have this image. It's nothing very special, but it will help me explain the different settings here. So basically where the edges of the object are, we have on the outside we have the near color, which is this black, and on the inside we have the green color, which is the inside color. And then these colors are slowly fading away into the far color, which is this white. And I can change, for example, the near color, and this will make the black part of my image now, it will become red. Also, the distance it takes for one color to fade out into the other color, for the near color, for example, to fade out into the far color, is controlled by this distance parameter. So if I increase it, I'm actually increasing this fallout radius here. And of course I can add different textures to all the colors, the inside, the near, and the far color. Now you may wonder what this texture is useful for, and if we take a look at the swatch here, you'll see that when I move this object, actually we can see the texture being updated. This is because the texture is generated before the actual rendering takes place. And this is very useful because I can actually use this texture for things like displacement or to control some parameters of the vray fur, for example, which was not possible with the standard vray dirt map. So let's open a scene and see an actual example using this new texture. In this scene we have a very basic setup, and if we take a look, we have the only thing that's different is that we have the vray distance texture plugged into an output parameter and the output into an output texture, and we have this curve being applied to the distance texture. The reason we do this is because we want to have the fallout to have this curve instead of just being linear. And this distance texture is actually applied on two places. First of all, we have this plane which has the vray displacement modifier, and then as a displacement map we're using actually this output map. So we're going to displace the plane based on the its distance to this long object. And if we take the look at the distance textures, you'll see that we have the line selected in the object list here. And the other place we're using the vray distance texture is for this vray fur object. So we're using the distance texture to control two things. First of all, we are controlling the density of the strands directly with the vray distance texture, and we're also controlling the length with the help of the output, which has the distance texture inside of it. So now if I render the image, we'll be able to see the result very quickly. As you can see, we have the plane displaced around this long object called line, and we also have the grass more dense and longer around the object, and as we go further away from this long line object, the density of the grass decreases and also the length decreases. So as I told you, this the main functionality of this distance texture is that it's being calculated before the actual render time takes place, and we can use it for things such as displacement and controlling the vray for and other parameters. So this concludes this short presentation. I'm Dimitar Krastev Jimmy, and I thank you for watching.